that. Hey, can you guys hear me? Hello.
Not moving.
We can. Good. I'm Dan Murphy, director, writer. I'm here with Chuck Smith and Lindsay McIntyre. Trying to mute it. There we go. Question is, was the bullying aspect on the movie based on being bullied as youths? I was never bullied as a youth.
I was never bullied.
No.
I didn't write it, though.
I was bullied by my sister. Does that count?
You were bullied by your sister?
Yeah.
It really wasn't based on that. Obviously, it's out there and it happens. So maybe some people can relate to that, but no, it wasn't really based on anything, personal.
Hey, did Sam really fall when the truck drove away?
Did
Yes.
Sam really fall when the truck drove away? Yes, he
Yeah.
did really fall when the truck drove away.
That was just really good acting.
Very good acting. What was the most difficult thing about shooting the film? Waiting for Chuck to show up to film the film. This was the first film, so learning a lot along the way. Just kind of trying to do everything ourselves and figure out how it was all done. That was probably the most difficult thing. Just it was a learning process with all of us. We kind of all started out doing this for the first time. A lot of us it did anyway, but just kind of learning the basics and putting it all together was difficult. But question is, was the movie Falling Down in any way an inspiration? No, actually it wasn't, but I do get a lot of that. I do get a lot of people say that it's a lot like Falling Down. Never when I wrote it did that pop into my head at all, but it's absolutely true. It is a lot like that movie. It's got a lot of the same aspect. Have you seen Falling Down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot like that, but no, it wasn't really in my head when we wrote it. What was the inspiration for making the movie? Wow, that's a good one. I don't really have a direct inspiration. There's a lot of things in it that are kind of based on some true life stuff, but nothing directly inspired me.
The killing part, or?
The killing, well, everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad days. You can all relate to the stuff that happened to Sam at the beginning of the movie, but nothing direct there, I suppose. Nothing. Just a little story I had about a person. What if he had a really bad day and ended up cracking, and then went on a killing spree? What are you guys laughing at? How experienced was your cast prior to your film, and how did you cast them? Well, you can see how experienced they are behind me. A lot of the actors came from, we're in Indiana, so we found a lot of the actors on indianaactors.com. That's where we recruited a lot of them. We put a casting call out and got a lot of feedback from that. We'd never used Craigslist.
I was typecast.
Chuck was typecast. He's kind of crazy. What technical difficulties did we run into?
You skipped it.
Would I skip one?
Yeah.
Can you say?
Can I say that? No, I'm not saying that word.
What technical difficulties did you run into while filming?
Wow. Can you guys think of anything?
Charged batteries.
Flimsy buckets.
Yeah, Lindsay fell off a bucket once and got a really big bruise. Technical difficulties. I don't really have anything that stands out as far as technical difficulties.
No, I mean,
Things went pretty smooth, really. I mean, it took a lot of time to do it, but we didn't really
for
have.
being their first production. I was really impressed with the way how smoothly everything went. I actually had filmed with Animal Planet, and I was surprised at the similarities. I had already been shooting And Then You Die, and then I went during and filmed an episode of Animal Planet, and I was very surprised at the similarities in the Animal Planet crew and what we were doing on our budget. So,
Yeah, nothing pops out. Technical difficulties with cast, yeah, and pranks.
Tell them about the prank day.
Can you go through the process you went through as far as writing? Did you have the scenes in mind and build from there? Yeah, I wrote pieces that I wanted to see, and then I had characters that I kind of had in mind, and then basically I just from that point on strung it together. It started out as one story and then changed into something else a little bit. It just kind of evolved and grew from that point on as we kept, building on it. And then Brian came in and helped me, and he helped with the writing process too and added some stuff, and we just bounced stuff around off each other. So yeah, it was chunks that were basically pieced together and just built upon from that. What do we got? Give us some behind the scenes prank stuff. Well, I'm going to hand this over to these two because these two are responsible for it. So I'll let them tell that.
We
real
were
quick.
shooting on.
We were
It was
filming.
on April Fool's Day.
We were filming on April Fool's Day. We were filming Lindsay's kill scene.
It was the very first death scene we filmed
Yep.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, the tree scene. Which when
And-
I'm filming, when we're on set, I'm kind of in the zone and I'm oblivious to what's going on around me. So I'll let these guys tell it.
I thought that Dan really liked April Fool's jokes. I thought he was a prankster. I always got that impression. So I had called and emailed and texted everyone in the crew pretty much and wanted to set something up to play an April Fool's joke on Dan. And Lindy and I had come up with an idea. We ran it by Brian, so at least he knew kind of what was going on before we proceeded. Go ahead, Linz.
So basically, what we decided to do, since I'd be half naked and tied to the tree, we made sure that I only had one hand tied and one hand untied. We made sure that Dan would be preoccupied with tying. He's so mad. Tying Shane up so he'd be distracted. And so when Chuck came over to me, I slapped him really hard across the face. Do I have to watch my language?
No.
Okay. So what did I yell? You son of a bitch. Or, no, I yelled, God damn it, Chuck, you son of a bitch, and slapped him across
She
the
really
face.
slapped me across
Yeah,
the face.
as hard as I could.
Yes, she
and
did.
it hurt my hand. My hand tingled for like half an hour after that. And so he was like, fuck this shit, I don't need this. And he took off towards his car. And so everyone was like, what the hell happened? And they played along. Everyone was great. And Dan was like, what happened? What happened? And I was like, he touched me inappropriately. And I,
Which, if you know Chuck, it's pretty believable.
well, yeah, I let him touch me, but no one needs to know that.
So at that point, after having filmed a little bit of the movie there, we probably had, I don't know, a quarter of the movie already filmed. I thought it was all over. Chuck was storming through the woods, and
Dan actually
Lindsay
turned
was
to
crying.
Shane, who was still tied up to the tree, and said, hold tight. We may be done with this here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I let it get to
Don't
that.
go anywhere,
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, he's like, don't go anywhere. I think we're done. So he looked back at me, and I was like, April Fools. And he's like, you
God damn it,
motherfucker!
Chuck.
And then as soon as he yelled that, then I could hear Chuck laughing. And
Yeah.
Brian had taken off after Chuck because he was afraid he was going to laugh.
Prank ban. We put a prank ban on set. which
Yeah,
didn't-
I had to
Just
promise.
stopped after that.
Yeah, I had to promise I wouldn't do that ever again.
Yeah.
So yeah, those
Any serious injuries on the set? Okay, I got a couple.
the bucket.
Lindsay fell off a bucket. We had the scene with the machete with Josh where Chuck guts him. We had done that with a prop machete, which we used to try and set up the gag, which didn't work. So we ended up taking a real machete and doing it that way and bending the machete around him to make it look like it was in him. We had another machete, a real one. So we would practice with Chuck swinging the machete.
We did it multiple
We did it
takes.
20 times.
And I never came.
Never hit him. Cameras rolling, whack. Machete across the gut. Luckily, it was dull. But yeah.
It still broke
It
his
left
hand.
him left a mark.
Yeah,
Folks,
there was a
and
few injuries. Shane, when he was being dragged through the woods, obviously his back got a little scraped up. Pretty much everybody Chuck touched got hurt. Did you have any issues with talent not being on set on time?
No, everyone was there early.
No, I didn't.
Everyone was early.
No, we had a lot of people traveled from very far away to come to do this. So we had people driving 2, 3, 4 hours. So it was hard to get everybody there together at the same time. So a few people were late, but when I'm doing this stuff too, I'm always preoccupied. I'm always, dragging my ass getting stuff rounded up. So no, not really. Nobody was ever like late to where it was
Like several hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
it was- and they actually, Dan and Brian got wise to me and would tell me to be here an hour before we actually had to be here. I had to be here so that we would be on time.
But that doesn't work anymore. We're filming Night of the Dolls, which actually both of these guys are in, and he's on to me. Now I have to do 2 hours.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got? When you came up with the kill scenes, did you have?
missed one?
Oh, did I miss one?
What
What
is
is
on
up?
Horizon?
Okay, what is up next on the horizon to work on? We're filming right now Night of the Dolls, which is written by Tom Commissar. It's basically about a doctor that works in a sanitarium that would take patients and experiment on them. She's one of them. And then it kind of jumps ahead. After a police raid, it jumps ahead about 20 years, and we follow a punk rock girl band who gets invited to go to this sanitarium to film a music video. And then, obviously, the fun begins. And I will be directing a zombie film next year. We've got some
We're both
short
in
films
that
and
too?
stuff. Yeah. Oh, are you guys both in?
No, keep in.
Oh, that's a different one.
Oh, different one.
Yeah, different
Um,
zombies.
So we got a lot of stuff, some short films and some stuff like that we're working on. And Tom's got another script that he's written that we're wanting to do another feature called Angels of the Dead. That's something that's kind of a long ways away. But how awkward was it to film the rape scene? Go ahead, Chuck.
The rape scene that you see in the movie was actually the second time we did that. The first time it was just a very stressful.
It was late.
It was late. It was
a long-
stressful.
long day.
It was rough.
Yeah, we filmed it once,
It
and
just didn't turn out
it
right.
wasn't right. It didn't feel right. I mean, we used some stuff from that day in the finished version, but man, that was hard
We
to
got
watch.
together a couple weeks later and redid it, and we all kind of Ellie and I and Dan kind of talked and explained what we were expecting and what was going to happen, and I think it turned out pretty good. It was intense, it was awkward, but we were all in the frame of mind of we wanted to make sure that we got it right. So
Yeah, it was hard to watch in person.
it was honestly the first time I watched it, the finished product. It was difficult for me to watch.
It's hard for me to watch too.
Yeah.
What else do we have? When you came up with the kill scenes, did you have the specific character death put together from the outset, or did you have certain deaths in mind and then match characters to them later? That's a good one.
Mine was written 3 different ways. And we
Yeah,
never used any
50-50.
of them.
That's true. Some of the characters we did have we had different versions of the kill scene written. Some of them, as I was saying earlier, we wrote certain parts and put it all together, and then we matched the kill scenes up with the situation, because a lot of it is based on what happened earlier in the movie. Say Shane had the gas can, that was his death. He was going to be burned alive with the gas. We wanted it to kind of come around full circle. The car that he had to return back to his work, we wanted him to be killed by the car, stuff like that. Lindsay had 3 different scenes, which one of her scenes that we were going to do for her was for another character. So we did jumble stuff around. And then the electrocution scene with the battery charger, we changed that pretty well last minute. Brian came up with that. Brian wrote the line that everybody seems to enjoy. That was a last minute change, which I'm happy with, because I liked the funness to that, and it's kind of cheesy kill, but it's fun. So yeah.
There was also some death scenes that didn't make it in the movie.
Yeah. Shane was originally going to be handcuffed in the tent, and then the tent was going to be set on fire instead of him being on the tree across from Lindsay and then set on fire. And then one of Lindsay's alternate death scenes was she was going to be going down on a guy and on Shane, and then get hit in the back of the head with a tree log or of some kind, and then she was going to bite the what do we want to call it, the penis off, and choke on it. And it was just too much. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that would have been good.
I like how you do the motion.
Maybe next time. Maybe in the sequel, we'll do that in the sequel with somebody else. Let's see, what else do we have here? Miss anything?
Wait, go back up. Can you say your favorite cast member?
Can you say who my favorite cast member was other than Chuck? No, because it's not Lindsay, and she's sitting right here. Let's see.
Start to watch. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
You did it right, Chuck. You raped her correctly.
Right. Thank you.
Cruiser rape success. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss something here. Am I drinking Bud Light? Yes. Pranks. We did that one. Yeah. I think I've got everything here. Are there any more questions? Yes, I'm from England, not Australia. I'll get that out of the way.
What advice would you give a first-time filmmaker?
What advice would I give a first-time filmmaker? That's good. I would say if this is something you want to try and do, definitely just go for it. Going into this, it was just an idea.
What's an idea?
Yeah, it was a thought. It was something I wanted to do. It's something I've always wanted to do. So, obviously writing it and putting it together. And then when it came time to casting it, I didn't honestly expect to get that many people. And then when I put the casting calls out, the people started coming in. And, to me, that was just kind of a sign just to keep going and keep pushing forward and pulling everything together. So I would say definitely if this is something you want to do, it's something, I'd just go for it and get it done. Yeah, definitely. It's hard work. Scheduling people to come and film and putting everything together is really difficult, but it's rewarding. It is fun. It's definitely fun. Unless your cast's pulling a prank on you.
Love you.
Did I have any film school training, or did I just pick up and learn? I went to school for acting and theater studies.
I just heard the next question.
Oh, the next question. I'll look at that in a minute. I went to school for acting and theater, stage management, stuff like that, and then not really for film. I used to run a horror movie website, which we would do then reviews and interviews and stuff. So we would get a lot of indie films that we would review, and then after watching them, it was something I wanted to try for myself. So. No, a lot of this stuff I just learned on my own, just by trying different things and watching different things and just YouTubing stuff. Really, I mean I acted with Chuck in a play. We did 12 Angry Men. That's how I met Chuck, and I knew right away he was perfect because he's crazy.
Well, and the script at that time, when I first read the script, was
different.
Was way different.
Yeah.
And we had planned on doing it that following summer.
Yeah.
And things fell through, and we ended up.
We thickened it out and added more characters, and
it really built out and was a good thing.
Is it better to? Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss one?
Yeah.
Did you have any? Okay, where are we at? This one here.
Is it better to focus on screenplay?
Is it better to focus on screenplay or more technical, like the video quality and sound? Both.
You have to have a good screenplay.
The screenplay is obviously important. I mean, you got to have a good story, but the video quality and the sound too. I mean, we've got some pretty decent gear, but I spent a lot of time in post going through the sound and cleaning it up and messing with volume levels.
It
and
helps
stuff like
that Dan is anal retentive when it comes to
I have a little
detail,
OCD.
but that's that I think showed in the quality of the film.
And then too, I mean, obviously we had Brant come in and do the score for us. Man, he was just he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he would come over and check stuff out and go through it, and we'd work on the score together. And so a lot of it, I mean, it's all a big package deal at the end of the day. You got to have a good story. You got to have, the best quality you can get with what you have on hand, and try and put it together the best way you can. So, I mean, we learned a lot from this one. With Night of the Dolls, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing differently because of things I didn't like in this one, but it was fun and we learned stuff. So, I mean, it was good.
He also asked if wardrobe was actors' personal belongings.
Oh, wardrobe. What are we at here? Speaking of wardrobe for the film, was it actors' personal belongings? No. Well, some of it may have been.
Some of it
Oh,
was.
Yeah.
that was.
Some of it was.
Those were my pants, my shirt,
Yeah.
All my
my
stuff was
shoes,
Yeah. We
my tie, my
mine. My
underwear.
underwear too.
my underwear.
My
I didn't
bra.
use any of
Your
mine.
underwear. I didn't use your underwear.
The wardrobe's 50-50. Some of it we went and got and figured out because we kind of knew how we wanted certain people to look. If they had stuff, then we used some of their stuff too. If it was going to be ruined because of blood and so on, then we provided that. But yeah, it was kind of 50-50 really. Let's see. How long did the editing process take? Oh boy, let's see. We filmed on weekends. So we started in March, and we filmed about every Sunday. There was a period of time. How long was that break? We took a break for about a month, didn't we?
Was that towards the end of it?
Yeah, we took a break for about a
And that's
month.
because everyone was busy and.
Right, everyone's doing other projects.
September.
Yeah,
It was almost like the whole month.
we finished in late September, early October, and then I like to edit stuff kind of as I go. It's not necessarily going to be the way it looks in the end product, but just to put it together. So I kind of have
on top of it too.
yeah, and stay on top of things. I had a rough idea, obviously how I wanted things done ahead of time, clearly, but we would edit as we go just to kind of get a feel for it. So then we would just basically go back through it and tidy it up and put it all together. So it went from October to about the beginning of March was when it was done as far as editing and all the color correction, going through all the sound and putting all that together. So yeah, it took a little while, and I worked on that on and off for most evenings in the week because I work full-time job. So yeah, it took a while. No, there weren't any critters running down the burning tree. Please explain the joke about the critters.
Well, once you get Dan to say the critter,
I have
you'll
I have
understand.
I have a goofy English accent. I've been here for 13 years. It's kind of on and off. And there are some words I just can't say, and can't is one of them. And
Aluminum.
aluminum, aluminium.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah.
Aluminium.
So there's a few words I can't say. One of them's squirrel.
Oh,
pretty good at that.
Oh, that was so cute.
Let's see. Did I miss anything? I think that's it.
No, there's a couple more that just came up.
Was there? Tell us the link between yourself and Found. Oh wow,
It's a good movie.
it's an excellent
It's a
movie.
good movie. If you haven't seen it, see it.
Yeah, years ago, I ran this website. It was Horror Madness and Mayhem. That's where HM&M Films comes from. And like I said, we did the normal movie reviews, celebrity interviews, stuff like that. We had a monthly online magazine for independent film. One of the people that worked with me on the website, he wrote reviews for me and helped with the interviews. His name was Todd Rigney. And then the site got to be too much for me, so I ended up stopping it. I ended up, shutting it down. Somebody else ran it for a little while and kind of lose contact with everybody. When we started making this movie, we had Christopher Hunt, who played Brad, and he had posted something up on his Facebook about going to the Found movie premiere. And it sounded familiar to me, and I couldn't place where I'd heard it, so I started researching it, and Found was a book that Todd Rigney had written at the time. when he was helping on my website, we had this book that he had written, and I would help advertise it for him and stuff. So right away, I knew that was the same guy, the same story. So I got back in touch with him. It's a small world. I mean, I'm just running into somebody like that's kind of doing the same thing I'm doing now. Yeah, it's crazy, especially not being from here. It's nuts. But yeah, that was the connection there. Anything else? Because I talk too much anyway. Just scrolling through here to see if I missed anything. I don't think so. How did you find the extras for the flashback scenes? A lot of the extras in the flashback scenes are all family members of other actors in the movie. A lot of the kids in the playground belong to us. 4 of them were mine. No, 3 of them were mine. Chuck's kid, Christopher plays the younger Sam. Chuck's daughter played Eve. And then a lot of the other kids we just kind of recruited just from, local people we knew.
Madison, my youngest daughter, was in the
playground
scene along with your cousin, your
My
niece,
and then Ellie.
your daughters.
Yeah.
Ellie's son.
Mhm.
And then my son Michael was in the front of the road by as they were handing off baby Sam.
Peer pressure moment. Any chance we can all make it to the IHTV anniversary party in Michigan on November 16th? I'm really trying to do that.
What day is that? Is that Saturday?
I can't remember. What day is that? I think it's a Saturday.
I'll check my schedule.
We've got a pretty
Yeah,
tight
that's a
schedule with filming. It is a Saturday.
Okay.
We got a pretty tight schedule going with filming. We do film on Sundays mostly. So yeah, I would really try. I'm really trying to come and do that. I don't know if these guys will be able to tag along. Hopefully,
Maybe.
I'll try.
Yeah, I'll try.
Maybe we'll bring a few more.
If
people.
this is an official invite.
It is. We have
Yeah.
been invited already.
Oh.
Did I not tell you?
No.
No,
Okay.
He's trying to keep me in the dark.
Of course it is. He says.
he doesn't take us anywhere.
You're sitting in my house right now.
That's only because I live 15 minutes away.
That's true. It's convenient. Anything else? You guys got any stories?
I already told the good one.
Yeah, you told the good one.
Oh, remember that time you motorboated me
We had the world's longest motorboat on
on YouTube?
YouTube for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We made
Look
a
it
little
up.
funny video.
Is it still up there?
Is
I
it?
don't know if it's still on there or not. It may not be. If it's not, I'll post it tomorrow. How's that?
She slapped your head.
What are your thoughts on evil clowns? That name seems familiar to me. I can't figure out who that is. Evil clowns. I like evil clowns. You guys like evil clowns? They don't scare me. I like clowns. We're working on a short film called "From Hell They Came." It's a home invasion type movie.
in that one.
Yeah, you are in that. And the killers or the attackers wear clown masks.
I listen now.
Xand is terrified of clowns. I think so. I don't know who that is.
It's really.
Oh,
Clowns kill. Clowns do.
What's each of
Our
your
clowns will
favorite
kill.
death scenes?
What's that?
What is each of your favorite deaths?
What is your favorite death scene, Chuck?
No, that's rough.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that is hard.
I would say I really like the way Aaron's turned out, where I stab him and he pukes blood up all over my
Yeah.
shoulder.
And then you run him over.
And then I run him over. That's probably one of my favorite.
What about you, Linz? Without being biased.
I like tanks.
Tank's death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanks turned out good too.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. It's good. Just originally, that scene was longer too. After he was attacked with the grill, he got shot. But we cut that out because we were leaving that open for the sequel. He liked the wood chipper scene, the whisper chipper,
Yeah.
the super
The
quiet
whisper
chipper
chipper.
that absolutely was not super quiet. Personally, take you to the Ringling Brothers just to laugh.
That's just evil.
I really want to know who that is because I think that name.
Sandman 2000.
Yeah, I
2K?
think I know who that is. I can't remember. That username looks familiar, but I don't know who that is there.
So, what was your favorite?
My favorite death scene. I think I like the combination of the two with the tree scenes. Just the way it is with them two, tied up facing each other. I think that's my favorite one. There were a lot of death scenes that went down on paper that obviously didn't make it, but brainstorming a death scene is fun.
Well,
And then when
it
is, but then when you pick what you like, it's like, okay, then how the fuck are we
Yeah.
gonna do that? So
There's a
that,
couple questions
yeah,
that way.
so that was good. I mean, and RJ's death too was a good one. I think that was his the first one we did, or I can't remember. The tree scene reminded me of the way the two victims are tied up. Yep. I've seen that a lot in other movies, and what we were trying to go for with that was just the fact that they were, the couple, and they were the ones that were happy and go lucky and getting along, and then we wanted to just separate them because they kissed all the fucking time, and I got sick of it. So we wanted to separate them and just have them deal with
Yeah,
the
you
fact they
made us
had to
film the
watch.
big tent makeout scene the day we met.
Yeah, that was the first thing we filmed was the tent scene. It was in March and it was 82 degrees in March, which is crazy.
Yeah, you kept saying, okay, take your pants off. Okay, put them back on. Go get your makeup fixed. Okay, take your pants off. Okay, put them back on.
It was hot in that tent.
Yeah.
That was the very first scene that we filmed.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are two types of people who sit around thinking about killing people: psychopaths and rioters. You are the kind that pays better. I wouldn't say that.
Wait. We got paid?
Yeah, we didn't get paid.
Oh, thank you.
We just got fed. We got to sleep on his couch.
What would you have done differently after seeing the released movie?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
A couple
Yeah.
things. We were just talking about that when we were watching the movie. Lindsay's scene where Sam kind of goes with his hand south on dead London, I think should have had a close up of Sam's hand in Lindsay.
One thing,
in
obviously,
Lindsay's pants.
that I got beat up about, but being my first movie, it was hard to kind of ask this of anybody. But I get beat up a lot for the lack of nudity and
By me.
by this guy because he's a perv.
Yeah.
But no, it's true though.
The lack of nudity.
That's one thing. And
Apparently, I should have taken my bra off.
on a technical side of things as well, I mean, we were trying to keep it simple because we were filming it ourselves, we were editing it ourselves, we wanted to keep it simple. So a lot of the angles that we used, and stuff like that, I would have done differently now, which I am doing differently now with Night of the Dolls. We're getting a little crazier with that.
Like camera angles? Or?
Yeah, just the way it looks, the angles used, and stuff like that. But I wouldn't have hired Lindsay.
So you hired her for the second one.
Yeah, so me
Your
being,
next
in the Night
But
of Dolls.
she gets her tits out in Night of
Ah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Right.
I think. What scene took the longest to film? That's a good one.
The rape scene?
The rape scene was a hard one because we did it over, I don't know,
Couple days.
3 different days on 3 different weekends. And it was hard and it was stressful and there was a lot going on. Originally in that scene too, there was a little bit more that Sam did to her that he just got so hard to do it. And it was draining everybody. So we trimmed it down a little bit. I mean, it's pretty long as it is. So we took some stuff out. But that was the hardest, probably, was the finale. What else? Do you remember anything else? Took a while. Chuck can't kick for shit. So anytime Chuck kicked, that was 20 takes.
Yeah.
I think I put some of that on the
Dan got mad because I couldn't kick someone in the head.
He couldn't kick.
I don't go
His
around
hips
kicking
don't
people.
work right. I don't know what the deal was with that.
When I was tied to the tree, my legs turned blue.
That's true. Lindsay was tied to the. How long were we out there doing that? If you hadn't
Forever.
have pranked me for an hour, you wouldn't have been tied to the tree that long. But you were tied to the tree for probably.
We had to go back.
We did
And
that
you guys,
twice.
You guys
Yeah.
kept loosening the ropes because my legs turned blue.
They did turn
and then
blue.
people complained that the ropes looked too loose.
Right. So
Well,
you
Lindsay was
can't
a
win.
trooper, actually. I mean, it was cold out there.
It
She
was
didn't
cold.
adjust her bra and panties. You were
I
tied
forgot
up to a
about that. It was
tree.
freezing,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she's like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And we kept on putting extra clothes on her, trying to warm her up.
Chuck was rubbing her. Said,
My kids are watching this.
"Skin to skin's the best way." I don't know.
That was after the prank too. He was like, screw it. No one will believe her now.
See if we got anything else here. I think that's it. What are you doing behind my back?
I'm drinking my tea. Quit being so paranoid.
Any final questions? Monkey face.
What seems of the prank? We didn't film the prank. Brian didn't have a camera on.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for hanging out and
Thank you.
Thank you.
trying to understand me and watching the movie and asking questions. Thank you, yeah. Definitely gonna come here with the next one. We had fun. Do you guys have fun?
Yep.
Night of the Dolls is coming. About halfway through. If you want to check it out, go to Facebook. Facebook.com/Night of the Dolls. You can check it out there. You can also check out our little production company page is Facebook on Facebook, Facebook.com/HMM Films, and then of course, And Then You Die is Facebook.com And Then You Die Movie. If you want to buy a copy, there's a link on there. All the information's up on the Facebook page. Yeah, this was fun.
Good time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye, Dad.
I'll get to bed.
Yeah, get to bed, kids.